Well, now that Justin Eichorn's Senate District 6 seat is open, several people have thrown their hats into the ring. One of them is Jennifer Carnahan. You may recognize that name from the headlines. The last couple of years, she announced that she is running. She's the former chairwoman of the Republican Party of Minnesota, and she's not the only one. So we've asked political analyst Blois Olson to join us this afternoon as well, founder of Fluence Media, and kind of weigh in on what's happening and some of the political fallout from this. So do we have Blois ready to go? There he is. Hey, Blois, thanks so much for taking some time here. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here, Amy.
All right, so first let's start with Jennifer Carnahan, because she's the one that jumps out here as somebody that maybe most people would recognize. Can you walk us through a little bit of the timeline, some of her history?
Sure. She's a former state party chair. She resigned after the Anton Lazarro case, dealing with sexual issues where he was recruiting and paying young women for sex in his condo, and they had a podcast together. He was one of her biggest financial contributors. So she has a history for sure with Lazarro. Lazarro's now been sentenced. Carnahan then moved up north to Nisswa. She has a store in Nisswa, and she was elected last fall as the mayor of Nisswa. So she kind of recreated her political career up in northern Minnesota.
Yeah, and then also some people may remember Jim Hagedorn and the relationship there as well. She
was married to former Congressman Hagedorn and ran for his seat, lost in a primary after he passed away of cancer.
Yeah, that was in 2022. I just wanted to read this statement. This is from Jennifer Carnahan. Running for the Minnesota Sen wasn't something I planned on, but I've been encouraged and asked by many to run because of the people in our area. They are tired of the same career politicians who come out of the woodwork and make big promises and then forget about us. Quote continues, I'm running because we need one of us in the office, someone who knows what it's like to run a small business, take care of their family, has to work hard every single day to get ahead and still worry about things like the cost of groceries, gas, and energy bills. What kind of chances do you think Jennifer Carnahan might have?
You know, Amy, it's going to be a very crowded race, and there's some big names in the race that are related to other politicians. So Josh Gazelka, who's the son of former Senate Majority Leader Paul Gazelka, he has jumped in, and he was endorsed today by the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association. And then Carrie Heintzman has jumped in. She's the wife of State Rep Josh Heintzman, so existing political operation in half the district. She's been very involved in the party politics up there. And then there's a few other names that are there. So it's going to be crowded. It's going to be a special election. And anytime you have a special election, turnout is really a challenge. You can almost, line up your supporters and just make sure they get to the polls in a special election. So I think Carnahan's name will pop a little, but there's going to be some other names and some real competition in this race. It's by no means some sort of layup for any of these candidates.
Did the GOP distance themselves from her, given sort of all the controversy?
It depends on what faction of the GOP you talk about, Amy. Multiple factions did distance themselves from her, but she does have a following within the party. So there are activists who think she was wronged when she was ousted as state party chair. But then when she ran for her late husband's seat, there was a lot of controversy about finances with the family, things like that. So look, each of the candidates has a core group of supporters. The question is who can expand their core group of supporters, and then who can build an organization relatively quick.
I don't have any sort of statement from the GOP at all. I do have one from the DFL saying it's disgraceful that the Minnesota GOP might replace a senator who resigned after a child prostitution arrest with a former Minnesota GOP chair who resigned because of her ties with a child sex trafficker, to the information you just gave us. Just to reset just a little bit, because we talk about the House and the Senate and how close things have been. This wouldn't change the balance of power in the Senate, right? Can you kind of walk us through that?
Correct. No, the Senate Democrats had a 34-33 majority. Now it's 34-32. The number I like to use, Amy, is that the House came into full service last Monday at 3:30 p.m. 67-67 tie. Then 2 hours and 15 minutes later, Senator Eichorn was arrested So they were only in full power for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, it certainly adds to the drama and the soap opera that is the Minnesota legislature these days.
Man, it's been a wild ride already. I mean, compare this to other years. I know every year has its stuff, but I'm just curious. You've covered this for so long. How does this year sort of rank as far as just the wild swings?
Well, if you take this session, it's the wildest. And then if you take a year, we're coming up on a 1-year anniversary of Senator Mitchell being arrested and charged for allegedly burglarizing her stepmother's home. Right. You take that and a tie in the legislature, Amy, that tops my 30 years covering the legislature.
Yeah, wow, never a dull moment. Okay, thank you, Blois, for taking some time out. We really appreciate your insight into this.
No problem. Talk soon.
Take care.